Chuck E. Cheese has gone through many changes over the years, with different logos, animatronics, and artwork displayed in the restaurants. Chuck E. Cheese used to be known for its interesting art on the walls, where most of it would be some sort of parody of something popular. But over the years, they got rid of those for more standard art of just the Chuck E. Cheese characters, and that's it. And with Chuck E. Cheese removing them, many people are now nostalgic for the old posters. But unfortunately, there's not many places where you can see them anymore, except for a couple places, like the one I'm visiting today. This Chuck E. Cheese has not been remodeled in a long time, with it still having the old decorations and its animatronic stage setup called Studio C. This was a single animatronic stage setup with 3 different versions. The first one being Studio C Alpha, then Beta, and then Kappa. They also had a feature where kids could mess with the equipment, like changing the cameras, but those have been long gone, and the only thing that remains is the animatronic, and in the case of this place, the artwork. Let's go in and have a look at the decor and Chuck E. Cheese's most famous animatronic stage setup, Studio C. So here at this Chuck E. Cheese location, they have a Studio C. I have not seen one of these since I was a kid, but it's not the exact one that was at my location. I believe that was a Studio C Alpha. Obviously, you got the blue screen, because back in the day, they used to have like a TV up here, so when kids would stand in front of the blue screen, you would be on the TV. I remember doing that as a kid, but that's been gone for years now. And then over here, you got the Studio C Chuck E. Cheese animatronic. It definitely is the best animatronic that they built. And then look at the carpet that he's on. I'm not sure when this is from, but this definitely looks like it's from the 90s or something. And then even cooler, they still have the original curtains that used to close and open. Those haven't worked in years, and most locations got rid of the curtain, but this place still has them, but I'm not sure when the last time it was used. Up there you can see it had like a motor, so it would close, and then when Chuck E. Cheese would start performing, the curtains would open up just like a real show. Now unfortunately, every Studio C hasn't been programmed in years. All he's programmed to do now is just random movement and blink and stuff like that. He's doing a good job blinking, but he's not performing anything. And this is the proof right here. Chucky's talking on the TV, and normally the animatronic would move with it, but he's just moving around and blinking. I mean, the only thing that would make this place better with all the artwork is if it had the original 5 animatronics, but honestly, this is good enough. I never really noticed this before. I think every Studio C has it, but it's Chuck E. Cheese on a surfboard. Got Helen, Jasper, Mr. Munch, and I don't see Pasquale anywhere, but that's a pretty cool hidden artwork right there on the side. Of course, they got the original ticket blaster with Chuck E. Cheese right there in the back. Look at this. This place definitely doesn't have the generic artwork. This is awesome. I have not seen art like this in for years. I also like how it's parody of stuff that you know. Like this one's Star Trek, obviously. And then the later art, they made it just to where it's based around Chuck E. Cheese, so they probably didn't have to pay fees and stuff like that. The first one, you got the C Files, obviously based off the X Files. This one's Chuck E. Cheese doing the news. I'm not sure if it's based off of something. Might be, but I don't know for sure. Then you got Chuck E. Cheese as a doctor, and Mr. Munch is there in the back. Probably my favorite, though, out of these 4 is this one, the Chuck Trek. I don't even like Star Trek that much, but this poster is pretty cool. Then you got this one that's crooked. It's called Name That Cheese, and Chuck E. Cheese doing a game show. You got Helen in the back, and then Munch right there. Also, Jasper's at the camera. And then right there, I almost missed them, is Pasquale. These are all from 1998, and I'm not sure when this one is from. It doesn't have a date on it. This one's probably one of my favorites. It's the Men in Black Chuck E. Cheese poster. You got Chuck E. Cheese right there and Mr. Munch. Here's one that I've never seen. It's an Elvis one. You got the old Chuck E. Cheese right there. Jasper, Helen, Munch, and Pasquale. And that's not even the end of it. This place has so much more old artwork. I can't even believe it. I walked in here just expecting to see the Studio C, but this artwork's better than that. Here's another one from 1998. It's called Chuckfeld, a reference to Seinfeld. This one's like Mr. Munch going on vacation. It's supposed to look like a postcard. Right here where you get your pizza, they have 3 pictures of Chuck E. Cheese's face. Behind where you get the beverages, they have 2 other postcard pictures. One of Jasper in the Wild West, and then Pasquale in Italy. I've never seen these 2 ever, or the other postcard one. Over here in the corner, they got 2 parody magazines of Chuck E. Cheese. One of basketball and then one of bowling. I've seen a couple of these in videos, but never thought I would see one in real life. The Studio C is just whatever compared to this. This is the real reason to come to this location, the art. Here's 2 more of the magazine parodies. You got Chuck E. Cheese playing football, and then Chuck E. Cheese playing tennis. Up behind this machine, they have the old Chuck E. Cheese logo. I remember that logo from my childhood Chuck E. Cheese. And then this I saw at the last location. It's from 1999. It's Chuck E. Cheese playing soccer. Here's another picture of the old Chuck E. Cheese logo, but this one's even bigger. It's honestly surprising they haven't took any of this down yet. Right near the entrance, they have these 3 ginormous pictures of Chuck E. Cheese. I've always liked these ones. They just look the most retro and cool to me. You usually see these in other locations though. These are unique. You don't see these a lot. You have the headshot photos from 1999 of Munch, Chuck E. Cheese, and Helen. Usually they also have Jasper and Pasquale, but they don't have that here. Like when I told you this place has a lot of artwork, I was surprised myself. I didn't know they had this much. And they even have this old sign sign that I've never seen. It just says, "We believe," a bunch of stuff. And then right as you walk in, they have 2 more postcards. So they have a postcard of every character. You got Helen in the big city, and Chuck E. Cheese is in Hollywood. I'm kind of disappointed out of all this artwork, they don't have the old Michael Jackson one where it's the dog. That one I remember a lot, but that doesn't even matter. These are cool enough. I hope you enjoyed. If you didn't watch my other 2 videos on the Chuck E. Cheese stage setups, make sure you watch them and subscribe. Thank you for watching.